Hey, this is Judah Mantell for SceneForge Studio, and in this video I'm going to go over version 0.7.7. I'm in the main menu here, and you'll see it looks quite a bit different, because now I can choose between two modes, scene mode and server mode. It still requires a login, as you can see up here, and you can still open up the documentation, YouTube channel, and Discord server. Now, scene mode, for designing scenes, storyboards, and shots, is essentially exactly what you've seen for the past year of me making videos and what you're familiar with if you've used the software. You can click on it and it'll start loading in the content just like before, and you can access all your same recent projects and create and open projects. This is the same main 3D editor and level builder, world builder, storyboarder that you've used before. It does have all the same compositing tools, nothing has changed there. I'm going to exit back to the main menu. And now we can choose server mode. Now currently this is only available for pro users, but it is available in this release, which is pretty exciting. I highly suggest checking back at the previous video where I go over what the server mode actually is and does. But if you don't know, it's essentially a really great way, a very lightweight mode of the editor that allows you to use SceneForge's fantastic compositing and body tracking tools, coming soon, in other engines and just inputting and output content to this very lightweight mode of the software. Essentially a universal platform-agnostic compositor that will work in Unity, Unreal Engine, whatever you want, using NDI and Spout at the moment, but we're also going to have custom SDKs available for those platforms as well in the future. So I'm going to open this up. You can see it works exactly the same way. You can choose a recent project, create, open, whatever. I'm going to open up this one. And you can see I have some footage here of this guy playing this instrument. I'll switch to the source input so you can see, and I just keyed out this background. You can take a look at the alpha mask. And now we have our output here. Looks pretty good. And you'll see this works a lot smoother. It might be a little subtle from the previous video, because that was kind of a work in progress. Now it's fully functional and fully integrated into the SceneForge application. You can save your projects, load them, open them up. We have options and everything like that. And it works really well. There are a couple changes, a couple fixes, I should say, that you might have seen in the previous video. Now they're fixed. A couple issues with the content-aware clipping, how it works so much better. It's almost better than it has been before this mode. I'm so glad. It requires less tinkering overall to get a good example here. So I'll show that to use our studio footage that I come back to often. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn off the despill for this example. And I can enable content aware. And with just a small amount of adjustments, we get pretty solid content aware clipping, even as the footage is moving. Obviously, I suggest spending a little more time with messing with these things. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll switch back to the other footage because it actually shows off the new despill system much better. So you can see here, we have this footage, and he's shining a light, like a pinkish, purplish light, from underneath, and that's reflecting onto his arm. Now, obviously, it's not a light source coming from above, but we do have this green spill of the green screen on his arm here, and kind of around the edge of the microphone and the side of the headphones. And you can see that if you go to the despill mask, if we adjust my alpha strength, you can see those there. And so what we could do to fix that is we could just increase the despill without thinking too much about it, which has a white color by default, and that'll just remove the green cast, and it works pretty well. But in this case, let's try to relight the footage using the pink color that we have in our scene. Now again, the light's not coming from this direction, but reasonably some might bounce onto his arm, and it'll just make it look a lot more integrated into the whatever composite we have going on. So what we can do is use the color picker tool to just select a pinkish hue. As we increase it, you'll see it'll replace that green with this color. And you can go much more extreme with it if you want. You can see as I scroll through these colors, the green cast over there gets adjusted. So something like this makes it look a lot better because we don't have that green cast anymore. We still have some cast, but it's realistic to the source of this footage, which looks really great. And so with that is basically everything in this release. Now, as I mentioned before, this is currently only available to pro users, and it will only be available to pro users once it comes out of beta. But if you are interested in giving this a try and you're willing to provide some feedback, if you email judah@sceneforge.app, I'd be happy to set you up with a trial license so you can test this version out, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below in the comment box, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.